Hi, David.
Hi.
So tell me about how you became a chef.
How I became a chef.
Like what, and how did you decide sushi was your,
the easiest way I always say is I didn't find sushi, sushi found me. And I was supposed to be a waiter at a restaurant at 5:30 on a Friday, and turns out the chef needed someone to help out in the kitchen in the sushi bar. And rather than being a waiter that night, I went behind the counter, started cutting up lettuce and cabbage and frying shrimps and cooking rice.
And where was that?
That was in Florida. Sushi capital of America.
Yes?
Not really.
Okay.
But it's a great place to start.
Right.
I did more of the fusion rolls, more of the Flying Dragon, King Kong roll, and started getting my knife skills there. But most important was the discipline. The first man I worked for became my master, and he's very serious with me. And we had a very strict schedule, and he taught me a lot. And I was 18 years old, so definitely a time where discipline was needed. But basically what happened was, I didn't realize it, but I fell in love with the art form and the discipline and the feeling of accomplishment. And when my master wasn't happy with something, I wanted to work harder. And I came in earlier, and I went home later. And I just wanted to make him happy. I don't know why I wanted to, but because he cared about me. And there was 5 of us, and he only picked on me. And one day we got into a fight, and I said, "Why do you always yell at me and nobody else?" And for the first time he laughed, and he said, "You're too sensitive." And I was like, "What? So you're laughing at me and calling me sensitive?" But it turns out because he liked me. So every time he gave me a little bump on the head or called my name out, it was because he cared. And that's kind of what the secret is what I found in sushi. Of course, all chefs and all different kinds of aspects of work, but sushi especially is it's an internship. It's a respect, and it's passing on knowledge. It's not really, we don't create these recipes, we don't recreate it, we don't change it. We hold the tradition, and we try to stick to the balance of beauty.
That's great, that's great. What was the name of that restaurant?
Oh man, that was called Yokohama Sushi.
Yes?
Yeah, that was the name. A little place in Boca Raton, Florida. A 35-seat sushi bar. It's still there, my master is still working away.
That's great, and then how did you end up here?
Here as in Sushi Dojo?
Yes.
Well, between Yokohama Sushi and Sushi Dojo, there's about 15 restaurants in between.
Right.
Japan, Los Angeles, and many trial and error. But I ended up here because New York City is the only place I feel that you can come to and your wildest dream will come true. And people won't naysay. They'll believe in you because everyone has a crazy idea. For Los Angeles and other places I went to, my idea was valid, but there wasn't enough people who were doing something just as crazy to balance it out. And I feel like New York City is the place where you can come to and be who you want to be.
Great. So, alright, so tell us about the sushi we're going to be having today.
Alright, well tonight's sushi, I focus on, I try to keep it, we say Edomai sushi. Edomai sushi is the estuaries of Tokyo Bay. And we keep it very simple. And we say in Japanese, sonomama, which means as is. And we try to focus on basically just fish and rice and simple seasonal vegetables. So tonight we're going to go through several whitefish, a couple kinds of sea urchin, a little bit of shellfish, and 3 kinds of tuna. And we keep it very seasonal and traditional as far as there's no spicy, there's no avocado, there's no rolls, there's no teriyaki. Those are all great things, but those are a distraction from the high quality fish that we import. Let me know when to start.
Okay.
Yes, I do speak Japanese. I call it sushi Japanese because I learned my Japanese in a sushi bar in Japan. I was 21 years old. I went to an apprenticeship with my second master in Hyogo Prefecture of Japan. And in the countryside where I lived, nobody spoke English and there's no foreigners. And actually I was the first foreigner people saw, and their imagination of a foreigner is somebody who does sushi, which is kind of funny. But I had no English-speaking co-workers, and I had no option but to learn Japanese. And it turns out Japanese is very hard to learn, but when you have no choice, it's actually doable. And at this point now, I can read and write at basic levels, and I can speak and have conversations. And sometimes to me it's very shocking, but it feels very natural. And I think to really understand sushi, Japanese culture and language is an important structure.
Oh, that's great. Okay. So what's your favorite sushi?
My favorite sushi?
Yeah. Do you have like a kind that you always like to eat?
Yes. That's a question I get all the time. So I guess I'll show you right here, and for many reasons. So in sushi we say ikarimono, baby guava, kind of spotted sardine. And the reason why I love this is it's the beauty of cutting it, salting it, and vinegaring it, and its presentation. Some chefs say I have the best tuna and toro, they might have the best tuna and toro, but they slice it, they buy it and slice it and present it. These are fish that we actually get to create with ourselves, with our own recipes, with our own, vinegar mix, and we can time it to the year, how much oil there is, to less salt or more salt. So I think silverfish, especially kohada and shinko, are my favorite because of how much work goes into such a little fish and the power of the taste. Because this fish is, here's the whole thing, and tuna can be 800 pounds. But this little guy here has the power of the taste. It's unbelievable.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
I look forward to tasting